Welcome to the Mighty Marvel Reading Club. No, that's not what it is. I think we're going to have to do that again. Actually, I haven't seen the live stream start, so I technically don't want to start it until it does.
All right.
That was a screw up, though. Didn't they have that in the book? Isn't that where I got it? Didn't they have the Mighty Marvel Reading Club?
Yeah, that's what you said that last time they had.
Maybe I'm making it up. Well, it's ours now. Take that.
You said Mighty Nuff said.
Take that, Internet. Yeah, we are the Mighty Nuff Said. So here we go. Welcome to the Mighty Nuff Said Reading Club, Issue 2. We'll go with issues on this. We tried that with Nuff Said before, and it fell apart. This will probably fall apart, by issue 3, mainly because, Phil, we have issues. Oh, yes.
Oh,
so here we go. I'm Rob Southgate. With me,
Phil Parrish.
Hey, Phil. Okay, so today we are covering the premise of the show is we always go back and we look at either story arcs or back issues of Marvel. We may get into new stuff, I don't know, but we take 5 or so issues or maybe a graphic novel and we talk about them, what we thought. This time we went with one that I had just read, so I didn't have a lot of homework. You had more than I did. This time we did, hold on, here it is, Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment. The author was Roger Stern. Actually, if you go to Amazon, it lists more than that. So I'll list who it says on Amazon, but it's a little different if you look at the book. It says Roger Stern, Jerry Conway were both authors on it. Mike Mignola was the illustrator. And then it also lists Kevin Nolan and Gene Colan as illustrators. I'm not sure who exactly did what where. Mm-hmm. But if you look on Marvel U, which is where I was getting my information from, it only lists Mike Mignola and Roger Stern and somebody else. Hold on a second. It lists Mark Badger as the inker. So penciler was Mike Mignola, inker was Mark Badger. So they're not Mark Badger. He got the short shrift here on Amazon. He didn't get listed. I'll tell you what attracted me to this book. The reason I read it, I've never been a huge Doctor Strange fan. I like the character. I like when he shows up and stuff. But because of the movie, I've been trying to read a little Doctor Strange. When this one came up, I don't know. At first, I was like not super interested. It said Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom. I was like, okay, maybe I want to read a regular Strange comic. It was Mike Mignola. I love Mike Mignola. So I was like, I got to read this. And I'm really glad I did. Now, you, being a comics guy, you obviously like Mike Mignola, right?
Oh yeah, I love his work, and this was great because this is one of the few comics from Marvel I haven't read. So this was, a new
so
Mike
this was
Mignola.
a real treat for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Mignola, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that are either Marvel centric or kind of newbies to comics, is the creator of Hellboy. Which, yeah, the movies are fantastic. If you haven't seen those, see the movies. But if you haven't read the comics are brilliant. And he also did a run. Didn't he do a run with Batman, too? Isn't there a Mike Mignola Batman?
Oh, yeah.
For black and white? Didn't he do that?
Oh, yeah. There's so many people who've done black and white Batman, yeah.
Yeah, he really is a real favorite of mine. And then Roger Stern also is a guy who is a real big player. He worked on Superman Doomsday, Death of Superman, the Spider-Verse stuff, which is, being a Marvel show, I'm all about that Spider-Verse. He worked on the Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu.
I think he did some Iron Man too.
Did he do Iron Man? He did Alpha Flight. I mean, he's one of these. Oh, Machine Man. He worked on that Machine Man series, the one that like Jack Kirby and Marv Wolfman had done. I love that series. That's a great. We should do that sometime. That's such a good series. But yeah, these are heavy hitters for Marvel. I don't know if they were necessarily regular bullpen guys, but they definitely, like, pulling in a guy like Mike Mignola for a project like this, that they're looking for a special book. What did you think, Phil? Special book or not? Did they score?
Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just one I'm kind of newer to Doctor Strange like you. I've just gotten into it in the Doctor Strange. I've been getting all the back issues I can in the last couple years.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't read this right away. But it was very interesting, especially since it kind of reminded me of another. Well, the whole plot point with Doom and his mother. It reminded me of a plot point from 2 years earlier, Fantastic Four Annual 20.
Okay.
The whole plot point with Doom and his mother came back up because, it was that night again. So he goes to the Fantastic Four because he knows Franklin Richards has defeated Mephisto before. So he goes, hey, let me borrow your son to go fight the devil. And of course they're like, no, we're not giving you our son to fight the devil. So of course he kidnaps him.
Hopefully it'll get a little better here. So what happened there? So they had him fight. Was it the same story? I mean, basically the same story?
It's the same plot where, Doom's trying to free his mother from Mephisto, but he knows Franklin Richards has defeated Mephisto before, so he kind of just kidnaps Franklin Richards to try to use him as a weapon against Mephisto.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting because I thought this was really great. I found myself really digging the Doctor Doom backstory.
Mm-hmm.
It's another one that I hadn't read that Fantastic Four. I know the classic Doom backstory and the garbage from the movies. But this stuff with his mother and all that. And this book, I love how Strange was integrated into it.
Mm-hmm.
I love how this followed that it made sense that Doom would have these abilities, that his mother would have these abilities, and that he chose the science route. That wasn't in the original Fantastic Four stuff, but seeing it played out here, I completely bought into it. And it felt almost like we were given a story that was not revealed to us before.
Mm-hmm.
We were given part of Doom's backstory. This didn't seem forced, didn't seem weird. It seemed like it fit.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I liked, because I've been reading these Doctor Strange books, I went back and I read the original Doctor Strange, first 3-4 issues. And then I read, there was a series, I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, where they went back and it was just it was another kind of origin story, but it was the Marvel Now version, or, it was whatever the current version, the one that they're going to pull from Ultimates, maybe. I don't know. You can tell I don't know a lot about Strange, but it was that same story. Him being the Doctor, him getting in the accident, him having this huge ego, all of that was there. And I loved in this how they touched on it. What was it, 2 panels out of that whole graphic where they made reference to that night. They made reference to his vanity, but they didn't bother telling us his backstory. It wasn't, and the Doom backstory only drove the story forward. It was a brilliant piece of writing, I thought. I was completely involved to the point that I wanted to read more of both characters.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think this was the Doctor Doom book, guest starring Doctor Strange.
It really was.
Yeah,
it really was. But you know what? Strange. It was a great pairing. It was one that it was unexpected to me.
Oh yeah.
And once again, you bring in Minola's artwork. I thought the artwork in this was great. The other thing about the artwork in this one, it didn't look like Minola's regular artwork. He does that real contrasty, heavy blacks and all that. Mm-hmm. This looked like classic Marvel illustration, old school stuff.
Yeah.
That was brought forward. I don't know how to describe this, but when this book had come out, what was this like? This was in the 90s, wasn't it?
I think it's 89, it said.
Okay, 89. Think about Marvel at that time, what the art styles were like. They had started to, you look at Web of Spider-Man, and you look at Secret Wars and all that, and they had that very classic Marvel feel. This fits almost like it's before that. I don't know. It really felt like I was reading a book that came directly after Kirby. You know? It had that feel. It didn't look like Kirby at all. It felt like Marvel at that time, maybe mid 70s or something.
Yeah.
It's just how I felt. I might be completely wrong. Artists are out there going, "You're an idiot."
No,
that's the worst.
I could totally see that. Yeah, because at first, I double checked the credits. I was like, that, Mike Mignola. I could see his style in there, but I was like, it's kind of different than a lot of his work.
Well, he's a super talented guy, and I'm sure his name will come up a lot on this show. I really dug it. So anything you want to feature on this issue? I mean, obviously this is one that we're both recommending really highly, especially before Doctor Strange comes out, because people are going to be really into this character when it comes out, because they're going to know the story. They're going to understand his place in the universe. And once that happens, I think this movie is going to be the breakout for Doctor Strange, where he's going to seem a lot more important to people. So I think now is the time. Maybe read the more current version of Strange, maybe go back and read those first few issues. But this book, absolutely read, because it also will take that bad taste out of your mouth from Fox's Fantastic Four version. Because this is Doom, and this Doom is what Doom should be.
Oh yeah, and it's not just for Doctor Strange. Is it? This issue is just so current, but because next month, I think October, we're getting the 2 new versions of Iron Man. One of which is Victor Von Doom.
What? I didn't know this.
Yeah, Tony Stark. I don't know if he's stepping down for a while, but yeah, that we're getting that Riri Williams, the 15-year-old girll.
Yeah, I knew that.
And then we're getting, and then she's going to be in an Iron Man book, and then the second Iron Man book is going to be, what is it? What is it?
So it's similar to Doc Ock taking over the mantle for Spider-Man, even though that was he was hiding. But it's that idea of taking one of these supervillains, making them be the hero. Yeah,
because after this last Secret Wars, Doom's face is all fixed now, and supposedly he's been in and out of the Invincible Iron Man book, and he's been telling Tony Stark that he's, like a hero now. So
yeah. How long is that gonna last? If I had to predict what they're going to do, is they're going to let that go for a while. He could be Iron Man, but something's going to happen where maybe the Iron Man mask like melts onto his face, and now his new Doctor Doom face is the Iron Man mask, one of the iterations of that, and it's burned on there, so his face is gone again. This guy is going to live this over and over.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic. But this book made me really want them to do something with this. Marvel should really take these stories, just like DC is trying to do. Take a story like this and animate it. You're not going to make a film out of this.
Yeah.
Animate this.
Yes.
And animate it right. Let a guy like Mike Mignola art direct it. Holy cow. Could you imagine?
Oh,
how good that would be?
And do it like we're doing with this now. If the Doctor Strange movie's coming out, like I said, you're getting a new Doctor Doom book next month.
Right. Now's the time. Of course, now we're saying this way too late.
Yeah.
But that's what they should be doing. They should be building on the animation side, because they release these animated things. They're not that great. They're animated pretty poorly. And DC, everyone talks about how good DCs are. They're starting to falter. I thought that the quality on Killing Joke was pretty awful.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch it yet because the reviews came out and they were pretty bad. Just the clips I was seeing looked pretty awful. And it's like, this is a huge book. What are you doing? You know what? It's another misstep is what it is. So now's Marvel's chance to strike. Do what you're doing with the movies. Get good directors. Get good writers behind it. But use this source material. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Do this. This is a fabulous story.
Yeah, Marvel, they're putting all their animation on TV. That they have an Avengers cartoon. They just had Captain Marvel on it on Sunday. They're doing a Spider-Man cartoon with all Miles Morales and Peter Parker and all the.
Sure. Well, they are coming out with the animated Spider-Man movie. So there is something on the horizon. But you know what? You've got Netflix. You're doing these series. Here's a way to build your animated universe. Put these out as hour and a half movies once every 6 months, and you've built another Marvel event that I would go crazy if I could watch this as an animated film done right. And you know what? You've got these guys under contract. How hard would it be? How much would it cost you to get Benedict Cumberbatch to do 20 pages of dialogue for this? No. Probably wouldn't be that much comparatively. You're already paying him a boatload. Write it into their contract so you've got real voice. And they get more credits, and it adds to their mystique. I mean, it's not bad. It wouldn't cost you if you make that a writer into their contract. I bet you could make something like that happen, or hire us. That'd be even better.
Oh yeah,
we'll show run this thing. Come on, and we'll do the voices.
I was gonna say you're gonna do the voice.
I'm a man of one voice. That's right. I'm like Rich Little. Well, no, Rich Little did a ton of voices. I'm more like Rich Nothing. All right. Do you have anything more you want to say about this book? These are supposed to be nice and short. So you got anything more you want to say about this book?
No, I think that's it. To highly recommend it. Like I said, this was my first time reading it, and I can't give it a high enough rating.
Yeah, me too. I loved it. I loved it. So it's Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange. What was it? Triumph and
Tragedy or something.
We got it wrong. Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom. I'm even saying that wrong. Triumph and Torment. And it is available on Marvel U. We are not endorsed by Marvel U, but boy, I wish they would do it because
we'd like to be.
Yo, man, we're out here pumping the greasing the wheels, we should say, for Marvel U. But it's great. I mean, I've seen this book before. I never would have read it until I had Marvel U, and now I'm just so happy I did. All right, Phil, what do you want to do next? You picked this one because I mentioned it. I want you to pick the next one. And it doesn't have to be obvious. We don't have to go, oh, well, we did Luke Cage, we did this. What do you want to do?
Put me on the spot here. I don't know. Pick a character. I'll pick a story.
All right. I'm going to pick another one then.
Okay.
I'm going to force you into it. Let's do the Runaways.
Okay. I never read that. All right.
Let's do that first Runaways series where they're introduced. It was from a couple of years ago. Okay. So if you don't know which one it is, I'll send it to you afterwards. But I want you to do the whole first series. I want to say it's like 8 or 10 books or something.
Okay.
So it's going to be a longer one, but you have to because it is a contained story.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if you only get halfway through it, you don't know anything about the Runaways. So Runaways it is next.
All right. Yes.
All right. Phil, why don't you give your social media and we're out. I know it's already on the screen. There's enough said, but go ahead. What's yours?
Well, on Twitter, it's right there, Nightwing PDP. Email me if you want to recommend the book for us to read, nightwingpdp@gmail.com.
Awesome. And you can follow the show, Nuff Said Podcast, on Twitter at Nuff Said Podcast. You can also follow me at R Southgate or the company at SMG Pods. One quick plug. We have a podcast marathon coming up October 1st. It'll be live at the Blue Box Cafe in Elgin, Illinois. It will also be different shows. So that's 14 hours of live podcasting, 14 hours of live podcasting on YouTube only the same day, same bat time. So 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Central, we will have 14 hours of live podcasts. And Phil and Tyler will be doing some podcasting on there. And I think, are you doing something with Charlie too?
Yeah, we're opening up the morning online. Yeah, it'll be me and Charlie in the morning, and then me and Tyler 6 Eastern, 5 Central. So
I like the idea of a Phil and Charlie in the morning show. That'd get you going. Charlie is like having coffee. It'll just get you going.
Have your coffee with Charlie.
Have your cup of Charlie. Gross. Yeah. So, all right. And if you want to support us, we have a Kickstarter for that event. Just look up Second Annual SMG Podcast Marathon on Kickstarter or follow it. Just click on it on any of the social media, on Facebook, on Twitter. We've been blasting it out there. We hit our goal yesterday, but we have stretch goals. And everything that we're doing, every dime of that is going to improve the quality of what we do. So by the end, hopefully we might have a GoPro, so we have a little better video quality than shooting off of our phone. We were able to get a mixer. We're getting a 12-channel mixer, so we can do a lot of stuff when we do live, and it's also going to enhance what we do for these shows. So those are just a couple of things. We've laid it all out on the Kickstarter page. So that is it. Thank you for watching, everyone. We will be back with The Runaways. Oh, we didn't say it. Enough said.
Enough said.